Lifting family, welcome back. So I've got the lighting about 50% right here, and that's not the big news. The big news is actually that Nutrition has been bought by Atkins Nutritionals. So Atkins being the company that Rob Lowe has his face plastered all over. Atkins has been around for a very long time. Started off popularized by the Atkins diet and then slowly built into a brand. And now that brand has kind of segued itself a little bit towards the further end or the opposite end of sports supplements. I mean, they just seem to slowly be pushing themselves away from that spot. So it's interesting that they've bought this company, but at the same time, there's obviously a lot of value here. The company was purchased for $1 billion, and I thought it was funny that they mentioned that in cash. But outside of that, so I had actually gone to the local Walmart, and I had actually checked out the product placement just to see kind of the proximity of the two, and that was kind of how I had gauged this setup in terms of Atkins just being something that's a little bit distant from sports supplements, just because when you go to a supplement aisle, if you go to a supplement store, you might not see Atkins at all. But at Walmart, it's kind of at the further end, further away from the popular items. So it's kind of interesting that Atkins had bought the company, but at the same time, obviously a lot of value here. A $1 billion valuation for a company that was started up in 2010 on a whim, essentially, on basically an idea of a guy who wanted to kind of help out his family, help out other people based on a weight loss journey that he had. So it started off with an idea that he had that basically was a lot of what success stories are, is that people tell you to not do something and then successful people decide to forge forward. They forge forward through a lot of dark matter, a lot of just issues and problems that they need to overcome, and they may seem insurmountable, but at the same time, having a vision, having passion, having drive is going to be the major key to being successful. And then just knowing that you're right, or having confidence in that you're doing the right thing because it's what you're passionate about. The other interesting piece here is that this can open up a lot of avenues that Quest has kind of started, but at the same time had not really capitalized on, or maybe they didn't see that they could gain enough market share. But I mean, because Quest does have, so they've got their line of bars, which is obvious. They've got their line of protein, which came out. Now they've got their line of protein chips. And then they had branched out into protein pizza. They're definitely getting into that the perishable foods realm. Well, in frozen foods. So what could be interesting here is just kind of like Atkins also has the like lean cuisine style meals. So I don't know how they would differentiate the Quest brand to be able to do that, but that would be interesting to see if they could differentiate. It'll just be interesting to see what the minds at Atkins decide to do with the Quest brand, because as far as it went, they had seen that there are synergies. So the companies being what they'd be able to do as kind of like a joint venture. They saw those synergies as a $20 million synergy for the first year as far as their estimates go. So that'll be interesting to see what comes from this. It might be something where Quest might actually come out with like a ready to drink, because that's something that Atkins had come out with. And just even looking at the Atkins products, I didn't realize all the products that Atkins had. So this could help branch out both brands. Essentially, it could add some liveliness to the Atkins brand itself. I mean, people that are very into the Atkins brand already, because obviously it's popular enough to where they can make a major spend like this. But in that same regard, this is something where for sports supplement enthusiasts, that is something that they might be able to get a little bit more recognition and a little bit more visibility, because now this is going to be the talked about subject. Because they actually had some like protein candies and stuff like that for Atkins, which just actually looked pretty tasty, and I didn't realize that they had those. I've seen some of the other Atkins bars, and was kind of like a so-so. It was just interesting to see that. So, congrats to Quest for their $1 billion. I mean, over 9 years, go from a company that has started out. I'm not sure what their initial investment was. But in that same regard, $1 billion. Congratulations. That is excellent. Big news for the supplement industry. I hope that this can be something that Atkins can help take to whatever that next level is. It's just something that Quest has built things out very, very well. And from a company that really started off with a lot of influencers. That was how I had heard about the Quest brand, was a lot of influencers were sharing their thoughts on Quest bars and just sharing their Quest bar tweets and Instagram photos and Facebook posts and all that other stuff. So it had slowly become a market gain there. But outside of that, fantastic news. Like this video if you support Quest, because that is definitely a likable concept. $1 billion is excellent. Comment below if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns. Definitely love to hear those, especially from those of you that actually like Quest bars and what your thoughts are on this acquisition. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, turn on that little bell. That always helps out. That way you know when these videos launch. Outside of that, thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.